Hello YouTube, and welcome back for part 2 of the Pro Modeler by Revell 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona 2-in-1 kit review. This one is going to be for the actual plastic parts of the kit. If you're interested in the instruction sheet as well as some just general conversation about the tires and the ability to make this into a NASCAR replica, basically any of my opinions on that, you can check out part 1, which is in the description below. So we'll go ahead and get started. Move the box top out of the way. Starting off, we have our photo etch sheets, which you can see here has the fan blades. We also have the instrument gauge surrounds. We have our Hemi plates, some charger nameplates, as well as the actual hood pins, which I love seeing in photo etch. That will actually make this look a lot more accurate. So really nice to see that. And then for the front end of the Charger Daytona, we have the air intake molded in photo etch, so we'll have to get that bent into place, but again, very nice to see. So taking a look here at the actual kit parts, starting off we have our race seat as well as upper A-arms, our front valence here to go under the nose. We have the racing dash, our exhaust pipes, and part of the roll cage. We have our air intake, which does have the little pockets for the headlights. Rear end. Anti-sway braces here. Control arms, drive shaft. I apologize if my dog decides to start barking. Usually do these reviews at night, but getting the chance to do a few through the day today. We have our upper dash, we have the rear leaf springs, we have our pedal set here, our pulley system here, transmission, and rear end. We have one set of wheel backs and engine. So we have the stock air cleaner here, oil pan, stock fan blade, stock exhaust, manifolds. And on the other sprue here, we have our race engine with the racing steering wheel, which is not textured. Have our roll cage parts as well as our engine stand, exhaust manifold there, racing exhaust manifold. So that is basically bag number 1. Bag number 2 here, and as you can tell, these things are absolutely stuffed. We have more of the meat and potatoes of the car. Grab out, we have our taillights, again, if you're building this stock. We have beautiful body. Unlike some of the other kits out there, specifically like the MPC stock kits, these do not have the holes in the front, so they are actually more detailed. However, again, if you're building this as a NASCAR replica, this will all need to go. You'll need to cut this part here out and mold it to the bottom, or to the chassis somehow, to make up that suspension to get rid of these panels. So I plan to do that. It'll be a lot of work to get these things switched over to a stock car or to a NASCAR style. Nice thing is as well, you can easily just sand off the tiny little molded in keyhole and door latch point there to get that to be able to put the decal on. As you can see as well, we do have only stock interiors. I'm planning on probably using some styrene just tracing this entire area out and using just blank sheet styrene to semi-replicate the inside of a door panel that they would have used in NASCAR, because again, at this point in racing, they would not have had the actual interiors. The tub's actually in pretty decent shape. It does have a textured floor, which again isn't that bad of a thing. However, there is ejector pins all throughout the floor. Let me see if I can get that to show. White plastic with cameras is not always the best. And then we have the fully detailed rear deck lid, which again would not be accurate for a NASCAR style kit, but I digress. We do have the lower control arms here, or actually I need to look through the instructions a lot closer to see if these are the upper control arms or not. If they are the uppers, that will actually make things a lot easier. If they are the lower, then it's going to make the NASCAR conversion a lot more difficult. We'll have our tampos for copyrights on the base there, and down here on the bottom, so if you want to get rid of those. But outside of that, really beautiful detail on that chassis. Love it. And then we have our stock seats, stock seat backs, everything like that. Go ahead and set this out of the way. We have then the rest of our front suspension here. Shroud for the radiator. We have the radiator, which does have some very light ejector pins on the inside here. Sadly, this is the visible side. It's not the one that's going to be buried. So you might take and either just go ahead and use it as is. They're not that visible, luckily, in this kit. We have our hood hinges there, and then our stock exhaust, which I'm not sure if that actually should be that short, so kind of interesting on that. And then we have our console interior for the stock version of the car. Steering column, our hood, which does have hood pins already molded in, and then the rear wing there, as well as the front air valence for underneath the car. So again, just a kind of a review. There's a lot of people on the internet that, and myself included, that do like to build very accurate representations of a specific model, a specific vehicle that was driven. And I do apologize. I tried to keep everything in focus. If anything was out of focus, I do apologize. These are great to start with. They're great starting points. If you're building it just to sit on a shelf, as I mentioned in my last review, place out the tires with some nice aftermarkets, and this thing will look absolutely beautiful sitting on the shelf. If you want to build it up as an actual NASCAR style kit, they have released some others from that relative era that this will show kind of what the cage should look like. This is from a MPC. This is the MPC Cuckoo Marlin Monte Carlo, but they've just re-released the Bobby Allison Monte Carlo. Again, those will actually give you the proper roll cage, proper chassis, proper front suspension, wheels, tires, things like that. So, two options that you have: you can either buy the re-release of the Bobby Allison Monte Carlo or other MPC stock car to salvage out the frame and chassis and all of that, or you can build it as stock from the kit itself and still, like I said, get a great looking model, just not 100% accurate. So hope you've enjoyed this kind of extended review of the Pro Modeler Dodge Daytona from Revell. Again, it's great that it come out. I just hope that one day we'll be able to get a re-release of the MPC Dodge Charger Daytonas. But either case, have a wonderful rest of your day.